Yeah, right though. Do you want to finish a top 50 list? We was at 33.
If the people want us to finish it, we can. I don't see the point of getting the number 47 ranked player in the NBA. But if the people want us to finish it,
Chat, let us know if you need us to finish that top 50 list.
chat, please say no.
It was pretty good. I think our top 30 was actually pretty good though.
The people were not happy with the list.
Let me see it again.
The people were not happy with the list. Hey, the chat says no, man. The chat says no. Well, Gerald said yes, but he doesn't count. The chat said no.
Gotcha. Hey, I got this payment that just went through, so it's about to be a good weekend, baby. Let's go. Wow. Let me see what we got here. So for our top 10 list, what do we have? Top 10 list.
Jokic, Giannis, Steph, Luka, KD, AD, Embiid, Tatum.
You remember that off rip?
Tatum, Jimmy, Tatum, Kawhi, Jimmy. There we go. I forgot about that. That's the 10. 11, LeBron. 12. Is it Devin Booker or Dame?
12 is Devin Booker, then Dame, then
Dame, then Shea, then Donovan Mitchell. 16. It's 16 where Ant showed up.
Yep.
17, Kyrie.
Okay.
18 might be Paul George.
Yep. Yeah, you got a good memory, huh?
19, Jamal Murray.
Okay.
20,
I want everyone to know Marz is actually like nailing this right now. Pause. I'm very
20. Who was 20? I remember saying, "Oh, look, we just put all guards." So I don't know. Might have been De'Aaron Fox.
He was one spot under 20.
Yeah,
so he was 21. Who was 20?
I know it was another guard. Because I remember saying it was all guards.
Think of the one player that always gets compared to John Morant.
Trey.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to get further than that, but yeah.
Was 22.
I have no idea. I've used all my energy to get the 20.
It was Ja.
Okay.
But no, that's a good memory. So that was a top 20, but that's not a bad list though. Besides like Jamal Murray, I think it's a pretty good list. Like who would be over those guys? Like you would say would be over those guys that we missed besides Jamal Murray. Like who would be over John Morant? Who would be over?
It depends how you feel about bigs. If you feel guys like Bam or Cat or Zion are getting snubbed. Other than that, I think for a list of guards, it's not too bad. It just depends if you feel some of the bigs are being disrespected. Some people I know have Jaylen Brown a lot higher. I don't.
But the thing is, if the guards are just better than the majority of the bigs, I mean, that's not our fault. They're just better.
Yeah, but some people would say the bigs are better, but we're just going for vanity over production.
Vanity. So please, I need people to tell me, like, how is Bam, Zion, and who else? Pascal,
Cat
better than Trae Young, better than Jalen Brunson or John Morant or De'Aaron Fox? Because they were literally right after that. So how are they better? What puts them over those guys? Paul George, Anthony Edwards, Kyrie. I don't get that.
Hey man, the people are mad at the list, man. I don't know what to tell you. I barely made any picks. So the only pick I made
that's
was
the thing. People just have so much. People have so much to complain about, and what it is like just because they see a position isn't. A lot of times I see a lot of people's lists. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, I see a list with too many guards. So why are the bigs just getting disrespected?" It's not really that. It's just the bigs aren't as good as the other players, right? We have Jokic, AD. We have Jokic, literally the best player in the world. Giannis is 2, and he's technically a big. AD, Joel are in the top 10. It's just like that doesn't make sense to me. And then outside of Jokic, Giannis, Joel, and AD, there is a big drop off from the next bigs. Am I lying with that, Marz?
No.
It's a big drop off. So how is it that crazy to be like, all right, the next time we're going to see a big is when the 25 number comes around or 20 number comes around? That just doesn't make sense to me. Talk to me.
Sabonis making an NBA.
I'm not putting Domantas Sabonis up there.
Hater.
Mingled, I like Jester. Mingled, Jester, Almighty Lambo. I need a camera on.
No, Sabonis is the most, like, he got the most exposed in these playoffs that I've seen of a player. I'm not gonna lie.
Exposed.
He didn't get exposed. He had a broken thumb.
He's a dribble handoff merchant.
You think that's why he wasn't shooting?
Sabonis is good.
No, I think he's obviously a limited scorer, but I don't think that's exposed. I think that was known. Well,
Hey, don't
No,
lie.
he's not.
It wasn't known. People
It
didn't
should
know
have been
that.
known.
It should have been known, and that's why
he
he
did have a broken thumb, so maybe that's why he was.
Hey, Dub.
What he was doing.
Hey, Gerald.
Can we pay respect to Butkus, man?
Okay, said what?
To Dick Butkus.
What about Dick Butkus? He
He
died.
passed away, man. Yeah, he passed away, man.
Oh, R.I.P. to Dick Butkus, man. I
R.I.P..
didn't know that.
Yeah,
NFL
Salute to
player.
him. NFL player. He's a legend,
Yup.
actually. A lot of people know
it's a
him.
legend, man.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Shout out to Dick Butkus, man. R.I.P. to
Shout
him, bro.
out.
How old was he?
80. I think 80.
That's a good life, man. 80 years old.
Agreed.
Not a lot of people can see that. So happy for him and to be able to live that long, man. But you know, there's something that happens in life, bro. Salute to him and what he did for the sport. R.I.P. man. Man, y'all got me emotional up here. Fuck.
Overall, the
He was,
list is
he was,
bad.
he was a great player.
I
He was a great football player. Tough as nails, too.
I think all those guys back then were tough as hell.
They were, man. The game was so much different back then, too.
Yeah, they were literally, bro. It's like that's why I tell people like you can't compare that football stuff because they were just literally just going out there just with no pads on, with barely any cushion and helmets, just going through, just trucking each other like it's nothing. That's insane. That's
a
insanity.
real sport right there.
That's a real man sport. That's insane, bro. And they weren't
Sounds
getting
like
paid.
rugby.
They were getting paid
Yeah, shout out
nearly as
rugby.
much as they should have.
But if you look
just
at
like
rugby players, too, man, Dub, the guys don't wear any pads at all. No helmets, nothing.
Wildin', bro.
Hey, man.
Real sport. I was gonna be a professional rugby player, but I decided to do this. So.
I believe you. I believe you.
Lord, you don't look like you could truck somebody hard.
Oh, I definitely.
Because I was A-Dub, I was watching like the
I
World
played
Cup with
rugby
rookie,
one
man. It
time,
was brutal,
and I
dude.
refused
It
to
was
tackle
absolutely
anyone.
brutal.
Didn't work.
Got you. Alan R with a super chat. L Dub. Oh, and Marz, you had the best team.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
What was his team again? It was OKC with JJJ and
Drew Holiday.
Drew
Drew
Holiday.
Holiday. Yeah, I like that team the best, to be honest.
The issue is
It doesn't take much skill. I just lucked in to get an OKC. So
You know, the fact that you got less and you still got OKC is
Yeah,
great.
so it doesn't.
I like
The Nets
Brax's
team
team.
is not bad though.
I actually love the Nets team actually.
No,
'Cause
Brax's
very-
team
Yeah,
is
I'm not
nice
mad
too.
at it either.
Brax's team is nice too as well.
Especially since you have Anthony Edwards kind of being your primary scorer and all that
Yes.
defense around them.
Oh
that
my
might be
god.
that might be the best defense in the league. I'm not gonna lie.
That probably would be the best defense.
But like he literally, but think about it. If Marz just literally added like two of the best defenders in the league on his team, he added one of the best perimeter defenders, and
But
then
the
the
Nets
best.
have a lot of great defenders as well. They have Mikal Bridges, Nicholas Claxton on the
Dorian
team.
Ben
Finney-Smith.
Simmons, Ben
Nicholas
Simmons.
Claxton is
Smith
not
off
an
the
elite
bench.
defender. So what are we
I
talking
think Nicholas
Oh
Claxton is
my
very
God.
overrated.
So
at the
what
fact
is
that
this
he gets-
discussion?
Exactly,
Ah.
baller
Claxton's
kicker and
okay,
an
though.
Nicholas
overrated
Claxton
so-so.
defender,
is a
man.
great defender. He's
That
not
was such
really
a
good
bad
defender.
Exactly. No, baller agrees. He ain't an
No,
elite
it's
defender.
true,
He's a
though.
Sam Whiteside.
Oh my goodness.
Just because you
One
get
of
blocks
the
doesn't
Nets
necessarily
is
make you an elite
overrated.
defender. Like JJJ is actually an elite defender. Like
What does JJ do that Nicholas
Nah,
Claxton?
Nicholas Claxton only gets blocks, man. He won't be doing nothing else, really.
They're both
I'm saying the
overrated.
blocks. is
What does
overrated.
JJJ do?
I do agree
JJJ
with
is
you.
definitely a better post defender than
JJJ.
Nicholas Claxton. In
JJJ
the post,
Is he a better post defender?
yeah.
He might be a bit.
Yes.
Nicholas Claxton's post defense is probably his worst attribute, to be honest.
But like,
He
I
did-
don't think there's a gap between JJJ and Nicholas Claxton.
I think there is.
You don't think there's a gap?
I just don't
And
think
post
either one of
defense.
them are getting posted up enough to really say that.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So I'm like,
But who's a better help defender? I take Jaren Jackson Jr. over.
Yeah,
Nicholas
that's
Claxton.
true. That's true.
but
Yeah, I think
Jared
Jaren
Jackson.
Jackson's a better defender than Claxton.
He is.
But
He
you
just
see,
is
this
a better
is the thing
defender.
see, this is why I say like y'all gotta
Actually, do I think he's better?
y'all gotta know
Yeah.
y'all gotta know hoopers, bro. Who's really
Claxton
guarding?
was only considered a
who's-
defender like
no,
basically this year.
who's really guarding up though? I gotta know who's really guarding up? Jackson ain't really guarding up. Claxton ain't guarding up.
Drew
Are you
Holiday
really
is.
elite if you can't
Claxton
Drew
guard
guards.
Holiday
up?
is.
Claxton guards. But
Nah, but he gets cooked.
No one in the
Damn
league
is.
I mean, all these big
Except
men are getting
Thompson
cooked by guards, and like at the end of the day, the conversation JJJ and Nicholas Claxton, there's like I don't think there's a huge gap between the two, to be honest, in terms of defense.
I think this is a big enough. I think that Jaren Jackson Jr. is a better defender than.
I think Jackson's better, in my opinion.
I think Jackson's better. He might not be way better, but I think he's better for sure, in my opinion.
The fact that he didn't think that Bam was elite was actually very surprising to me. That's very odd for me. Like crazy.
He must value like help side rim protection a lot.
Who, Dell?
Yeah, because he said, didn't he say KD?
He said KD's better than defender than Giannis because he's a better on-ball defender.
What?
That
That's
just
fair.
makes
No,
absolutely
yeah, that's
no.
fair.
That
Never
just makes
mind.
no
That's
sense. I'm
KD
sorry.
over. Oh my god.
That just makes no sense.
I do think KD's a better on-ball defender, though.
Maybe a perimeter on-ball defender, but like that's pretty much it. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
that's
not
pretty much it.
he's not a better post defender, that's for sure.
Ah,
I got
Block
Giannis.
is-
For
ah, ah.
Didn't catch the first. Oh, sorry, you want to read that?
Drink more water. Couldn't catch the first half of the show, but rewatched the part with Dell. Other than Dell saying AD is the only elite defender, Ox saying Giannis isn't an elite big defender is noteworthy. Do you guys agree with Ox?
No. I do
He
not
is when he
agree.
wants to be. When he wants to be, he's an elite defender for sure.
Giannis is a very elite defender.
No, this is definitely an elite defender.
But define elite. Like elite
Yeah,
is
I
subjective. I'm figuring out everything in life is subjective, as well as being
Well,
rich is subjective.
oh, okay.
So let's elite. You know, or define elite.
when you're usually referring to elite, you're referring to people who have superior skills compared to the rest of the bunch, right?
Mhm.
That's usually what you're referring to.
Top 7.
Any figure you put in it is going to be subjective.
Yeah,
Even if you say top 3, he is still like arguably in there. So I don't see how he doesn't fit in that rule.
I mean,
Maybe
I
there's
just
only
look at
one
it. If
elite
you have
defender.
defensive skills that seem to be obviously, and this is subjective, but to me, obviously above the rest, then I would call you an elite defender, like an AD, like a Bam.
Like a Nicholas Claxton.
I think AD is ahead of everyone else. And after AD, we can have a debate about him. But
I think it definitely correlates to me the whole transcendent argument. Like, I think not just because you're elite doesn't make you transcendent, but if you are elite, then I think your skills translate more than obviously other people's skills.
yeah, transcendent is like Tim Duncan. Like you can build an entire franchise for a long period of time around this player's defense. That's like Tim Duncan. That's like
Nic Claxton.
Hakeem. You know, these guys are transcendent.
So is Bam transcendent because they built around his defense for extended?
No, they
period
didn't
of
build
time?
around his own defense. They are a good
No,
defensive.
Bam's not transcendent, no.
Yeah,
Wait,
then I can
what?
say the Spurs built around David Robinson and then Tim Duncan got added.
You could say that. I mean, David Robinson is elite as well, but I don't know if he was transcendent. He wasn't.
I
I
don't
need
know.
y'all, but I need you to
I
understand
think he was
something, Amir.
transcendent
I need
defensively.
you to understand something. The reason why people be like,
Hakeem,
oh,
you could.
the reason why people like they get on, oh, why aren't you getting bigs? Is because they build around with the understanding that they have Bam Adebayo being there. So that's why they're fine with not getting bigs because they have Bam. And
Well,
then
they just got Thomas
switch
Bryant, so clearly they're not fine with getting bigs, man. They need
Thomas
big.
Bryant's a backup, more. Shut up.
Yes, but
Oh
they got
my
big.
God.
They know. They know.
Shut up.
They need bigs.
They got Kevin
No,
Love.
they are building around him, and the reason why they don't have as many bigs that people want is because of Bam. So they are building around him and building.
Okay, Bob, I wanted to ask you a question about the whole guard ranking thing. I think the reason you should put more bigs, even if the guards are better, when you're putting a list like that, is because of matchups. If you're the better guard, even if this guard is a better player than this wing or center, you're going to run into a lot of better guards. So even if this guard is the better player overall in terms of production, his production is going to be canceled out by his matchup like a lot of times. That's why having a big who isn't as good, like maybe Bam or Sabonis, I think is more valuable than having a guy like Ja Morant or like maybe
But
who else? Like
I don't
maybe
know.
Trae Young.
Yeah, I don't agree with that because then you're measuring it off of other people being good and not really just a sole person themselves. So
Yeah,
just
like would you rather have the sixth best point guard or the third best center?
But if the third best center is
That
trash,
doesn't really.
why
That
would
doesn't.
I
I don't look at it things like that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't look at
like,
it.
but I think when you're building
Would I
teams,
rather have Damian Lillard or DeAndre Jordan in 2016?
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
no, no,
Give
no,
me
no.
Dame. Give me Dame.
Dame is elite.
Joakim
Like
Noah
I'm
was all
talking
NBA
about,
first team. Would I
I'm
rather
talking
have
about the
him
guys
over
below
like
elite,
Well, you said
and
the
it
sixth
doesn't
best
have.
point guard or the third best center. I'm just saying at that
Yeah,
time it was
is
Dame
wait,
or DeAndre
Dame
Jordan. I'm picking Dame.
Dame was the sixth best point guard.
Yeah, but at the same
Maybe.
time, when
He's
you
giving
really
you an example. He's just giving you an example.
depends on
Honestly,
who's
I
best
could
point
look
guard.
up a lot of
Way
points.
better
I
than
think
first best center.
I think Mike Conley. I don't even know if he was the sixth best point guard at that time. I'm picking Mike Conley over DeAndre Jordan.
He was lower than
Yeah, I
six.
mean
He was
there
like
are
10th.
exceptions when.
He was like 10th at the time. To be
Okay, there are
honest.
exceptions
Kyle Lowry was better
when
than
the
DeAndre
Chris
Jordan.
when the
Paul.
center has a lot of
Chris Paul.
wait, are
okay
you
when the
saying
player
teams are more
when the
valuable?
player has a lot of deficiencies like free throw shooting or a lot of weaknesses, yes, but like when we're talking about guys like Bam Adebayo and Sabonis and
So you're
Siakam and
taking
all of
Bam
them,
Adebayo over John Morant essentially because John Morant is like, let's say, the sixth best point guard and DeAndre, and let's say Bam is the third best center.
if I'm drafting, yeah, because I have a higher chance of getting
Oh,
a solid point guard than
You're
getting a
saying
solid
based in the
center.
league. Okay,
this is
okay.
pirate.
Oh,
It's
I
like a
see what you're
pirate
saying
list.
now.
It's
I
like a
see what
Yeah,
you're
pirate.
this is okay. Let me say this. I think you all actually do this. Like when you do all-time drafts, you go after
Yeah,
power
yeah, yeah.
forwards first to avoid this. This
Okay,
is
so then
exactly what I'm
let me.
saying. Like
Okay, I hear what
when
you're saying, but
you're
let me ask you this question: so, who do you think is a better player individually, John Morant or Bam Adebayo?
individually, it's Ja, but who makes it? Who makes the team more likely to be superior to other teams? I think it's Bam because you're not going to run into many centers or power forwards better than Bam, but you're going to run into point guards who are
That are like John. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
But
so
just
you're
because
basically
That's
but
not a
just
fair-
because
that's not a-
but
that's
just
not a-
because they
I-
have because they have the better matchup majority of the time doesn't always guarantee like the team to have a greatest chance. Like Bam Adebayo has been a better center. Bam Adebayo was a better center against the Boston series in last season, but they still lost that.
yeah,
Mhm.
you could
So-
lose due to matchups in other positions.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't
you-
think like if you have the same team structure, I think you have a better chance. Like for example, I think having players who are like wild cards in certain rules. It's not just about positions because the NBA is positionless anyways, but I think
Mhm.
some guys are wild cards. Like for example, I think the Knicks have a very good combination of like Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson are very good wild cards because they have a skill that no one else has. Josh Hart being one of the best rebounding wings, and Mitchell Robinson being the best offensive rebounder. So if you have two guys like that, these are wild cards. These are guys that if you surround them with the right star, they can produce. But if you don't have these kinds of players, I think having like a borderline all-star who is in a position that the league is weak in is better than having a star in a position the league is already loaded in. Like Ja Morant is not going to outplay Curry or Luka or Dame, but when
So
you
can I
have
ask you
players
something?
in other, yeah, go
Can I?
ahead.
Yeah. All right. So with that way of thinking, you're saying is more valuable. When has a point in time like you've seen like teams reap the benefits of that?
Every single year, I think.
Like
Like
when AD, like when
Draymond
AD,
Green is a huge example of that. Actually,
Who is?
he's a
Draymond
huge
Green.
example of that.
Who
Draymond
is?
Green is like at
Yeah.
least you have at least like 30 players in the league better than Draymond individually,
Mhm.
but as a team player, he's a wild card.
No. That's not what I'm
Wow.
asking. I'm asking what. Name me a point in time where the position was weak, and because those guys were so great, and because the drop off was so discrepant that the team in whichever they were a part of had a clear advantage because of that.
You mean like a player who is playing?
AD for an example. AD being undeniably besides Boogie Cousins, but it was literally just them two and that's it. They were undeniably the best two bigs in the league, but both of them was on shit teams, despite the fact that they played in a league where the center position was at its weakest. So just because you do have the better players and you do have a bigger discrepancy at your position doesn't always necessarily mean that's more valuable to you.
You have to build around them. It's not just one player. But I'm saying
What
I'm not
about-
talking about the weak positions and like I'm talking about the strong positions here. I think when you have a loaded position, you try to avoid like trying just to take the sixth or seventh best player, even though he's an all-star, and
Mhm.
try to take a wild card instead. It's not about how good the player in the weak position is. It's about how valuable the player in the strong position is. So I'm talking about the strong position. When you have a very loaded position,
Yeah.
I think having a guy who is not a star is not going to hurt you as much as if you have a star just to have like 80% of the production of the star you're facing in the playoffs while having the same level of player in another position. So you don't have any matchup problems or wild cards that you can throw at the other teams. Like I said, the biggest example I mentioned is Draymond Green. I think he's a huge example of a wild card. I think even in championship teams in the past, like you see a guy like Ben Wallace. He was not a great offensive,
Rodman.
but he was definitely a difference maker. And you look at guys like in championship teams, like in the Spurs, Manu Ginobili. Like he was playing a role that no one else was playing, and that made him become a wild card.
Yeah, but
I think
you're naming a lot of guys that had a great team around them as well. So like them being an X factor for a team, like you're not accounting for the fact that they had Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Bruce Bowen.
Chauncey
yeah, but other
Billups.
teams had
They
great
had,
players.
they had great. So you're naming X factors when themselves are on a loaded squad, right? The thing I just don't understand where. Now, what you're trying to do is like create a curve mainly because of the position, because what you're saying is that those guys could cancel out. And what I'm trying to say is, despite that, a lot of the times, especially in the team, like that doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter if my big has such a clear advantage over your bigs. If my team is better than your team, we're just going to be a better team than you, right?
Well,
It
this is
doesn't.
team.
And
It
no,
becomes
because it doesn't make because you're talking about because you brought up about the point guards when you sit here constructing team, the point guards canceling each other out when they're matching head to head. So you're including the team construct of it and even the opposing team. We've seen plenty of times where the bigs have a clear advantage over their matchup, but the team still doesn't have an edge on them because it's more than that. And when
yeah. It's not one position.
but when you do have players that are just objectively better than somebody, regardless of the position, you always should go with that person because they're going to impact the game at a higher level than the other person, regardless if they have a clear advantage on the league because there's not a lot of people in that position.
Yes, but the thing is, when the point guard position specifically is that loaded, and the point guard has the ball in his hands all the time, even when he has an equally good team, if the other player outplays him, it's done. But when you have a wild card, you actually have a chance. Because if my point guard is never going to outplay your point guard anyway, I have a better chance if I build a better team in other positions than just to try and take the sixth best point guard and make him my best player and try to build around him.
Yeah, we're talking about the top 25 to 30 guys. They're not wild cards. So you're bringing a wild card examples when we're talking about guys who are top 30. Like they're not wild cards. They're matchups where they're looking at that Joel Embiid or Bam Adebayo, you're going out here producing this much. Okay. Well, on the other side, when you have John Morant, if it's head to head, they're both the best players of the team. All right, John, you got to match that energy and what he can produce and abuse their matchups as well. Like they're all competing against the best players, not really the position.
Well, if you're talking about superstars like top 5, top 7, yeah, I don't care if the rest of the league is weaker. If you're a superstar, then yeah, I agree with you. Like I don't care how many times I'll face a star. Like for example, if I have Steph Curry, it's more valuable than having Giannis, even though the point guard position is more loaded than the power forward position. But because I have a superstar, and you could favor Giannis for your own reasons, but I'm saying if I have a superstar anyway, I think yes, the superstars are trying to match the other superstars, But when you get to the level below the superstars, I think this matters a lot. Like in terms of team building, if you don't have one of the top 7 players in the league, I think you should be looking
Can
at
you
things
name a
like
team that's like that in your opinion?
a team like what? Like a team that's built
That's
on.
below the tier of a superstar, but they have a player that has that
Like,
wild card that you think makes the difference.
in my opinion, a team like that right now is actually, it could be the Boston Celtics or the Kings, but the Boston Celtics have Tatum. If you have him in your top 6 or 7, it's
You don't have
fine.
Tatum as a superstar right now?
I mean, he's borderline superstar. Depends on how many
To
people.
me, I think a superstar thing is on way too easily in this damn league anymore.
I think, like, if you consider superstar to be top 5, then no, he's not a superstar. If you consider it top
Not to
7,
say top
he's still
5,
not.
But
but a guy that
then
can
who's the
change
wild
game.
card on the
But
Celtics?
hold on,
Who's the
Rendell,
wild
because
card?
The wild card on the Celtics, it's every position. Literally, like Kristaps Porzingis is probably a wild card.
yeah. The point. I see the point in which you're making. The main thing I just disagree with, where they're not a lot of teams where head to head, especially the lower you, let's say the top 20 to 25 players, right? They're still accounting for those guys to be those guys, right? And if I have a team with Trae Young versus a team led by Bam Adebayo, they're trying to cancel out the production of Trae Young and Bam Adebayo. So then it's up to other people to make up for that, right? So you're keep bringing up X factors and all of this other things for a situation that doesn't call for that. Is literally, can my best player outperform and outproduce what your best player can do, regardless of position? That's what every team looks at.
That's a great point. Yeah. That's a great point. That's a great point. I definitely like. If I look at it from that perspective, like best player versus best player, second best player versus second best player. But if we look at it that way, and we look at teams throughout history, we've seen teams that only had 2 players producing, and they were like, for example, Kobe and Shaq. Outside of 2000, when they had Glenn Rice, they won 2 championships where the third best player wasn't even
3
asked to score in
championships.
double figures. He wasn't scoring double figures. A lot of teams in the league had like 4 guys averaging more points than the third best player in the Lakers. So sometimes, yes, like if you have specific situations in which the stars are overperforming, like for example, yes, I would rather have Trae Young with another all-star level player than have Bam Adebayo with another all-star level player. But if I do not have the luxury to collect all-stars in my team or have one superstar like the Nuggets, this makes it difficult to build without putting this in mind. But like I said, if you have 3 all-stars and no superstars, of course, you can do that. If you have 2 all-stars and 1 borderline all-star, you can do that. If you have 1 superstar, you can do that. Like, I see your point if we're talking about quantity, but if your team has no superstar and cannot afford to have like 3 high scoring players or like high production players, you have to look at things like that. And I think the Heat are a great example of that. They made 2 finals without really having high production players, and we've seen teams in the past do this as well. Like, I think the 2022 Warriors actually won a championship without really having high production players. Like, there were teams in the league that had more high production
Other
players.
than Steph?
Other than
Oh, damn.
Bring him back, yeah.
options
coming
in
back.
terms of production, but they weren't even close. This
Wait,
is what I'm
repeat that
saying.
again. You left. And
Yeah,
came back.
cut out a little bit.
Oh, okay. So I was saying that the Warriors in
Yeah,
2022. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, so the Warriors in 2022, I think they were like a team that was built so well, like they had all the boxes checked. They didn't have high production players except for Steph Curry, but they had a lot of like wild cards, like players playing roles that no one else in the league is producing at that level. And I think this takes a good coach as well, because like if you have a coach who's just going to put the ball in the hands of the point guards and spread the floor and let him do all the work, you're probably not winning a championship. But Steve Kerr can actually do that. Eric Spoelstra can do that. Greg Popovich could do that. Like, it also depends on the coach and how he works with these kinds of players. But like I said, if you don't have multiple high production players, I think having wild cards is better than just trying to get like a DeJounte Murray, like the Hawks did when they tried to pair
I
Trae
do
Young
see,
with another.
I do see what you're saying, and I mean, obviously, we understand that creating a overall good team is very beneficial. But back to like when you were talking about Ja and Bam, in my opinion, when you're building a team, you're building it to maximize that potential star. So in the situation with Ja and Bam, I think the ceiling of Ja is way outweighs the ceiling of Bam, and the hope, obviously, now he may not be Steph level. But in time, the hope is that he becomes a star, borderline superstar, maybe even a superstar. So maximizing his talents would be crucial to creating that championship level team. Because in general, when we think about championships, that's like the most important thing when it comes to the NBA. For the most part, you got to have that guy to kind of lead you to the cup, right? To the championship.
You're right. Actually. I don't disagree with that, especially because when you're talking about young players, you don't know how the position will be like 7 years from now. So if Ja is peaking and all of these great point guards are out of the league and the others are not on the level of Ja, maybe he's going to be a much more like it's still like it's debatable. I'm saying it's subjective. Like that's why I was bringing out the point to say that there is a point in trying to build a team through matchups instead of just star power. But if you do that based on potential, yeah, sure. Like potential star power is definitely very valuable. So I'm saying there is a debate. I'm not saying it's like objectively the only right way to build, but I'm saying there is a way to rank players based on how valuable they are instead of just how
good they
their
are.
stats are. Yeah.
You're saying not just how good they are based on how
I think I said
valuable
everything I need
It's
to say in that point.
like I'll give you an example, right? Like the Lakers are paying Anthony Davis like a superstar right now, right? And in my opinion, AD's not a superstar right now. In my opinion,
He is, in my opinion. So
Why not? Why not,
Yeah,
Gerald?
what's a superstar?
Why not, Gerald? Why isn't he a superstar?
well, first of all, to be a bona fide superstar, you have to be able to carry a team and have the ability to do it, though. You can't just be like, he's playing with LeBron James. Like LeBron James is one of the best players in the league, without a question. No one can debate this.
Nobody.
You have to be able to show you can elevate your play, win a matter, and elevate everybody else play with you. Anthony Davis has never proven he can do that. He was in New Orleans for 7 years. And what did he do in 7 years in New Orleans? Nothing. No conference final appearances, no final appearances. They playoffs 2 times, no 50-win season at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how can people say he's a top 6 player in this league, though, if he couldn't do anything in New Orleans at all when he was the number 1 option?
can you name 6 players who actually did something, though?
What happened?
What did you say?
Can you name 6 players who actually did something significant, like better than Anthony Davis?
Go ahead.
Well, I mean,
Table.
I will say one thing is that you said that Jason Tatum isn't a superstar, but then Anthony Davis is a superstar, but then Jason Tatum.
Look at Tatum, right? Tatum was able to lead the Boston Celtics to the conference finals in his first year as a rookie, though.
Lead?
Did he lead the team?
And he was 1 game away. He was 1 game away from beating LeBron James. And he had no Kyrie and no Gordon Hayward in that series.
Yep.
That's like saying Chauncey Billups was a superstar in the 4, man. Like, come on.
So that's one guy.
What about the finals appearance then? When they went to the finals, he did choke in the finals, but when he went to the finals,
okay. What about Hakeem then? Hakeem got the finals in his second year of the league.
We're not trying to say Anthony Davis is Hakeem, right? So like Anthony Davis last year.
Gerald's cooking right now. JT led that.
And don't forget, he beat the Showtime Lakers in order to get there too, in a gentleman's sweep, and he pushed the Juggernaut Celtics to 6 games.
So AD leading the Lakers to the conference finals, does that not move you?
AD what?
AD leading the Lakers to the conference finals, does that not move you?
AD didn't lead him to the conference. He still had a top player, LeBron James.
So you think LeBron James?
And last time I checked, when the Lakers won their chance in the bubble, he was not the finals MVP. LeBron was.
I don't care
about the finals MVP at all.
And last time I checked, AD's still the first. He's still the first to LeBron too much and too often.
Finals
so
MVP
why
is the
is
worst
Anthony
way to
Davis
rate a
not a
player.
superstar, but Jason Tatum is his rookie year?
What
You're
about this
telling me that
season, though?
Tatum was
Because
a
we have
bigger
to look at
flop?
Tatum,
about
right?
this season?
Tatum's been
We're
able
not
to get to the
talking-
finals come on, back-to-back years. Jimmy Butler has been able to do it, though. When no one thought Jimmy Butler could take the Miami Heat and lead them to a finals or a conference finals, but he was able to do it, though, when no one thought he could, though. I have not seen AD be able to do that at all.
I think
So-
Spurs.
You know why? Because he doesn't have that dog in him. He never has.
Talk
And the
about
Lakers are paying him like that guy. They're going to pay him $62 million for the last 3 years of his contract. Is he a $62 million player a year? Hell no, he's not. He's never proven that. Never.
We're gonna give him and the Lakers are gonna give him all that money and handicap them when he hasn't shown anything in his league. I'm with you, Gerald. I stand with you on that.
and plus-
Jimmy
and-
Butler's over a fucking.
And plus, they're going to be paying him this kind of money when he's past his prime, when he's no longer in his prime anymore, when he's between the age of 33 and 35. And 80 has an injury history. The guy hasn't played 60 games or more in the last 3 years. Always in his prime. And you expect him to play those kind of minutes and those kind of games and lead a team to a champion or conference at that age. I don't believe it. He's not good enough.
This is
You
a great take.
undervalue a lot of things.
This is a
with
great
you.
take.
No,
Joe, you're a
saying-
great take. This is
Oh
a
my
phenomenal take.
Wait,
This is
Jimmy
a
over
phenomenal
AD?
take.
If you're really arguing
So,
Rocky
D-Mac,
Tatum,
are you
I will say
saying
just
Tatum-
agree to disagree. I'm not debating someone who's telling me about Rookie Tatum. I'm sorry.
Yeah, are you saying Tatum was a
Calculum bullet.
superstar his rookie year or after? Like, I just want to be clear on your distinctions. Is Tatum rookie year a superstar?
Okay.
Is Tatum his rookie year a superstar?
No, he wasn't a superstar. I give you that. He wasn't. I mean, he wasn't. But the way he elevated himself in the playoffs, though, unexpectedly, when no one thought he could, it's a private. And for him to be able to
But
push
he's not a
LeBron
superstar,
James
right?
to
He's
7
not.
games when LeBron was one of the best players in the league was impressive. I've
Sure,
never
someone
seen
won.
AD be able to do that.
Okay, so Tatum's not a superstar his rookie year. Was Jimmy Butler a superstar the first year they went to the finals?
He was an all-star player for sure. He was an all-star for damn sure. No question. He was an all-star.
Was he a
G-Mac, what
superstar?
do you
Was
have
he a
a
superstar?
definition of a superstar?
He
So
just
Jimmy
told
Butler
you.
was not a superstar, right?
Okay, maybe he wasn't a superstar level, but he was still an all-star caliber. But he showed people that he was capable of doing it. I have not seen AD be able to do that, though. Akeem was able to take the team only his second year in the league.
All right, and
We know Akeem was a superstar. We know
Okay,
for a fact he was. There was no debate about this. None.
You gotta hear what he's saying.
Is Joel Embiid a superstar?
We're not hearing him.
So no.
And look at Magic Johnson. Magic his rookie year
Embiid is not a
too.
superstar.
Is
Joel
Joel
Embiid-
Embiid a superstar?
Joel Embiid is not a superstar.
G-Mac, is Joel Embiid a superstar?
Is Joel Embiid a superstar? In my opinion, yes.
Oh my God!
Why?
Hear me out. The reason why Joel Embiid is a superstar, in my opinion, is he's been an MVP candidate the last 3 years. That's a fact. Has AD been an MVP candidate the last 3 years? No. He also won an MVP award. He also led his team to the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference. I don't remember Anthony Davis ever doing that as the best player. Without a question, be the #1 option. Has he ever done that? No.
Never.
MVP has done that.
Hello.
Come here.
Did he do that?
Come here.
Did he ever lead a team to a #1 seed when he was in New Orleans for 7 years? No, he did not do it. You know why? Because he wasn't capable of it.
Playing in the West.
So you're saying Anthony Davis was never
And don't give me this crap. He didn't have a talent.
Joel
He had
Embiid
Drew
was-
Holiday around him.
Yeah,
Okay,
Joel
so-
Just like
Embiid-
Giannis had around
Joel
him. And he
Embiid
still
was-
couldn't get the damn job done.
Joel Embiid was a top seed with Tyrese Maxey as his best guy before James Harden got there. So I don't want to hear this. He was in the West. The East has been good for a long time now,
If you
since
have, you know what?
2019.
If you have Joel Embiid over AD, I still have both of them as superstars anyway. I don't care. I'm saying if he's saying AD was not good enough when he went to the finals and won, and when he went to the conference finals,
Can I ask G-Mac
because
one question?
he has another player.
I got
but now
one
you're
last
telling
question.
me that
Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Last question. In the last few years, is Kevin Durant a superstar? I just want to see where your gauge is.
To me, is Kevin Durant a superstar? Yes, he is a superstar. Yes.
Why?
based on what?
Why?
He's not an MVP candidate.
Because Kevin Durant has proven himself in the past. He has proven himself he could take the team to the finals. He led OKC to the finals at a young age, which he did.
Not
Fact.
recently.
He was. Yes, he
Kevin
did.
Durant as good as he wasn't in OKC.
He took the 2021 champs to Game 7 all by himself. Riddell.
Okay, he didn't make it to the conference championship.
But he took the champs to Game 7 with nobody.
But Kevin Durant has proven.
Make the conference.
Riddell, Kevin Durant has proven he can take a team to a final. He's proven he can take a team to a final as the best player, as the number 1 option without any doubts. We have not seen AD do that yet. He hasn't.
But who was
Can I ask you a question?
right now?
We saw him with LKC.
Yeah, go
Can I
ahead.
ask a question?
Even when he was playing with Steph Curry, he still showed everybody that he was still a great player because he was still the Finals MVP.
Because y'all just saying
That's why I
He
asked
didn't
the
play with
question.
Steph Curry.
Just one
Y'all saying something that
question.
don't even make sense. AD
just
has
one
never
question.
had really
Would-
like help. He didn't get help like that. When he finally
His
got
help was terrible.
when he bounced Portland out, he got Damian right up out of there. As soon as he got some help, he bounced people out. He got people out of there. He got people that was perceived as superstars. He got Dame out of there. What are you talking about? It was always either AD was hurt or he didn't have enough talent to complement him. When he got talent to complement him, he won a championship. What are you guys talking about? How was he not
Can
a
I say
superstar? How does
something though?
was he not? He put up superstar numbers, and then when he gets the help, he gets them to the with his defense leading the way. That was the main reason why the the Lakers won. It wasn't because of LeBron's offense. It wasn't because of D'Lo hitting shots. KCP hitting shots. It wasn't none of that. It was AD was wilding. He was bugging out, and his defense was at an all-time transcendent level. What are we talking about here? How's it?
So I just have a
With
question
that
for Joe.
point,
So
can I say
G-Mac, so
something?
no, I just want to ask this. I'm sorry.
KSB, you this bulletproof. This will be the last question, and then I'll rotate, and then KSB, you got after.
Yeah, sure. I just want to say something. If AD in 2020 was not superstar just because he has another player at the same level, so I want to ask a question. Are Steph Curry in 2017 and Kobe in 01 worse than Chauncey Billups in 04? Because using that logic, they're definitely worse.
And I asked the question again.
Would you rather have Steph in 2017 or Kobe in 01 or Chauncey Billups in 04? Who's more of a superstar?
Chauncey Billups or Kobe?
Yeah, if we're saying Chauncey Billups in 04 or Kobe in 01. Kobe in 01 was not the best player on his team. Chauncey Billups was the MVP of the finals. Does that mean Chauncey Billups was better than Kobe?
That's for you, G-Mac.
Does that mean Chauncey Billups was better than Steph when he played with KD?
Well, first of all, no one ever considered Chauncey Billups a superstar ever.
He has
That's number one. Kobe Bryant was considered a superstar. Okay, Chauncey was never a superstar. Steph Curry was a superstar in 2017. We know that for a fact. But Chauncey Billups was never a superstar. No one ever validated Chauncey Billups ever.
But by your logic, he was.
If you're invalidating AD in 2020, but you're not invalidating Curry and Kobe, I'm sorry, you have no argument. You can rotate now. I can go.
Dude, AD won a title in a bubble, bro. He won a title in the Mickey Mouse bubble. Come on now. Are we really validating bubble titles now? Seriously? Come on now.
You gotta end on that. No, he's gotta end on that one. That's fine.
I just want to ask G-Mac.
I don't count bubble rings.
Yeah, so I just want to ask. So is your definition of a superstar just a player who can be the best player on a championship team? Like, so what's your exact definition of superstar?
Hello.
To me, a superstar is someone who has the ability to not only elevate his play, but elevate all the guys around him and bring them up to his level in order for them to be able to get deep playoffs, like the conference finals, championship. I'll give you an example. Allen Iverson.
Okay.
Allen Iverson was able to take his team, lead him to a finals, being the best player. And he elevated his guys. Even though he didn't have great teams around him, he was still elevating enough, though, to get up to his level to get him to a final, even though he didn't win a title.
Wouldn't you say Chauncey Billups did that in 04?
Not because it was a team construct. It was more of
that was different. The Pistons were built differently. See, the Pistons were built as a team where every piece mattered. Billups, Hamilton, Ben Wallace, Tayshaun Prince.
So
they were built a certain way
as
a team.
Yep. I got you, G.
Sometimes you have teams that are built a certain way, right? The Pistons were built a certain way. There wasn't a superstar. They were a collective group as a team. You had Ben Wall, who was a defensive anchor. You had Tajon Pruitt, who was a good lockdown wing defender. You had Chauncey Billups, who could score and could shoot and defend. You had Hamilton, who stretched the floor for you, outside perimeter.
Okay.
They were a different kind of team. They were what you call an exception. Sometimes you have exceptions, though. But most times, though, when you look at teams, you have a team who have one superstar who's like the superstar, like Dallas had Dirk.
Is a superstar.
We all know Dirk was a superstar. Matter. Like we knew when Houston won the top 94. We knew when King was a star. There was no question about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we look at the Knicks, when they got the final 94, we knew he was a star. We knew that for a fact. There was no question about that.
All right.
When we look at the Pistons, when they had Isaiah Thomas, we knew Isaiah was a superstar. Even though they had a good team around him, we knew he was a superstar.
But so you're saying Chauncey Billups didn't elevate his team at all, even though it was like he was the best player on that team?
I never said Billups didn't have a good team. Billups had a good team around, no question about it. No one said he didn't.
No, but you said that the superstar elevates them. You're saying in total, Chauncey Billups didn't elevate anybody on the team. They were all equal. That's what you're saying?
Okay, you have to remember something, man. When Rip Hamilton came to the Pistons, Rip Hamilton was already a 20-point scorer already because he played in Washington with Jordan. I hope you guys forgot this because he did. Okay.
I bet. G-Mac, appreciate you cooking.
By him being a point guard, he was able to facilitate and get easier shots for Rip Hamilton, get easier shots for Rasheed Wallace, run the pick and roll with Ben Wallace to get him a few more dump downs. I think Chauncey's role was very pivotal in maneuvering the offense. If Chauncey Billups is not able to hit certain shots and initiate a certain offense, there was a lot of points, a lot of times. That's why they were so low scoring, because the team needed Chauncey Billups to score. They couldn't just rely on Rip Hamilton scoring. That wasn't the bulk of the offense. It had to be where everybody was contributing, including Chauncey Billups being very aggressive as a point guard. He wasn't this. He set the table for the team, but he was more so. Also, he was part of the offense as well. To be a third, he was probably like their secondary scorer, probably third, depending on if Sheed was hot or not. If Sheed was, they'll go between Rip and Sheed. But if Sheed wasn't hot, who do you think had to score too? Chauncey Billups. So he was more pivotal in the offense because he was the one that was making that offense run. I understand it was all group effort. But if you don't have Chauncey Billups setting the table, you're not winning with another type. You're going to need somebody in that same archetype that's doing the same type of things. You couldn't just put a defensive point guard. Lindsey Hunter was not able to replicate the same thing that Chauncey Billups was able to replicate. Even though Lindsey Hunter was a better defender than Chauncey Billups, he wasn't able to do what Chauncey Billups provide. A big guard that can post up, shoot, pass, and run the offense. Like, you needed that for that team.
But the biggest strength of the Pistons was their defense, though. That was one of their biggest things. That was their defense. Was their ability to take their defense and turn it into offense for their team. That was why they were able to beat the Lakers, because they were able to turn their defense into offense for them.
That's true.
Which helped them. Just like the bad boy Pistons when they won their titles, their defense was their strength.
What was Philly?
Just like when the Bulls won their championship in the late 90s, their defense was their strength, turning it into offense. Offense can't turn this into offense, but defense can turn into offense. You can't turn all into defense.
So with you understanding that of the Detroit Pistons, what do you?
And no one ever thought Chauncey Billups was ever a superstar. No one. Was he an all-star player? Yes. A superstar? No.
Hell yeah.
I'm curious. What do you rank Isaiah Thomas? Gerald, what do you rank Isaiah Thomas? Yeah.
What, amongst point guards or amongst players all time?
Point guards.
I mean, if we're going point guards, I mean, you got like Magic, Steph, you got Oscar Robertson, the logo Jerry West.
Oh, okay. It's a good list.
So, Dub, you got Jimmy.
I would say
in terms of like rank as an NBA player, you got.
Jimmy. If somebody put him top 5, I can see why somebody put him top 5. I can see it.
Okay, that's a good answer. Because if you look at Isaiah Thomas, people forget this though. Isaiah Thomas is in the top 10 all-time assists. He's in the top 20 all-time in steals too, which people seem to forget about this guy. People always seem to forget that Isaiah Thomas,
He averaged more since game for his career than Steve Nash did. But people still put Steve Nash higher than him sometimes, which I don't get either.
Okay, G-Man, you got it. Dub, you have Jimmy Butler over at AD. Why?
Oh no, what?
He was just trolling.
But if we go off of the logic of proving themselves, I mean, AD hasn't proved himself at all until he got with LeBron James, man. So if I need a guy to lead the crew and galvanize the troops, why not take Jimmy Butler? You know, why not take Jimmy Butler, bro?
And tell me how to remember about 82. 80's only produced 150-plus wins in his entire career. That's it. Once. That's all.
That's a team.
These
thing.
are facts.
That's not...
Which people seem to forget for some reason. I don't know why.
Yo, Dub's gonna let us crash the whip with G.
And the man's been in the league 11 years. Come on.
These are facts.
No, G-Man.
Thank you for cooking these guys, man. You be easy, brother. I appreciate you, man.
God, I hate this nigga Dub.
He was cooking. What do you want me to do? Y'all couldn't argue the points. He was
You're right, man.
y'all.
I'm good. My
He was
fault.
absolutely destroying y'all.
I'm good. I got cooked.
You
My
don't believe half
fault.
the shit he was saying, Dub.
Almighty Lambo, I see you in chat all the time. Nice to see your face, man.
It was good, Dub. Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let me read off some super chats before we continue.
Yeah, go ahead,
Should I go back and watch the panel? I left after Dell said the only elite defenders in the NBA are AD and Prime Kawhi. Laughing emojis. They had a great. They had a great. That's my guy, man. He knows ball. He just has.
Yeah,
he's like me, man.
Yo, that's my guy. But Dell, that was not it. Claxton is an elite defender. He is an elite defender for sure.
Allen I would know one. They had to get a center with a championship to say Bam. Shaking my head. That's disgusting. Start bench cut. Peak D-Rob, Jokic, or Giannis. Marz, do you want to start us off?
D-Rob, Giannis, Jokic.
Wow, so you're cutting Jokic as a peak. Why?
His defense.
Okay.
Simple enough, yeah.
Anybody else? I'm actually very surprised you said that, actually.
I think
if you watched the Hoop Talk podcast, you wouldn't be surprised because I actually did these peaks and David Robinson was ranked highest. Dub doesn't support Marz Talk Sports. I would dub in the chat.
L Mans.
Marz acting like he watches my shows. Shut up.
Marz,
Actually,
same thing.
Marz be in the chat and you're joining. Y'all get people out.
I've been calling you a racist in your chat all the time.
I'll be in the chat
today, man.
And you acted like I wasn't in your chat watching it every now and then. I just didn't catch that topic.
Dub Crow.
I got
Desmond was coming on right after the show today. I just need y'all to understand that. I love this bag I'm in terms of relationships. I'm actually going to talk about a relationship soon, so it's going to be fun.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah. And Drink Awards is postponed to tomorrow. That's why I'm getting this up.
Oh, tomorrow? It's tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Bet. Yeah, I got D-Rob first. I got damn. And it doesn't matter what team I put him on. It don't matter. Like, I'm just evaluating the player.
Just the players.
If it's team building, I would go D-Rob, Jokic, and then Giannis. But if it's just players, I'll go D-Rob, Giannis, and then Jokic, just because of the defense.
Okay.
But I feel like in a team concept, you could like obviously mitigate that for Jokic. So yeah, go ahead.
Nobody else care to say anything?
D-Rob, Giannis, Jokic.
D-Rob, Giannis, Jokic. Got you.
I got Giannis.
I would cut Jokic. I'm just very surprised that Marz cut Jokic. I just don't know who to start between Giannis and D-Rob. I'm just torn between that two. I probably start Giannis. I may start Giannis slightly, then D-Rob, then Jokic.
I think I was so surprised.
Is it because you think that he's more versatile? You could do more with Giannis?
Like ball handling for my crew, just the physical force that he is, and then that roaming that he brings is great as well. So that I just think I could do a little bit more with him than D-Rob. The D-Rob was great.
No, he was all right.
Drink more
I feel
water.
like it's go.
Drink more water. Will Trae Young make first or second All NBA?
No.
No.
I say second or third before first.
No.
No.
I
Well,
say
We know they traded him to the
Yeah,
Well,
the
if we be
conversation needs to be
honest-
second and third.
Well, if
it's,
we be
it's,
honest-
it's positionless. He's not going to be in the top 10.
Oh,
At all.
that boy don't got a chance.
but if the Hawks are a top 2 seed, who is this?
That's a big if.
Dub.
What?
Be serious.
A top
No,
two seed.
no,
That's
damn.
For 1 second,
I'm
please.
not
In
gonna
the
take it.
East?
I'm not gonna
Damn,
take it. I'm not gonna take it outside. Well, that's what I'm saying. He asking if it's in the realm of possibility where
It's
if
not
they're
in the
top
realm
two-
of possibility.
well, I'm gonna give it to you like this.
Hey, man,
Go
if
back-
Killian Hayes averages 30, he might win MVP.
Exactly.
No, listen,
Come on, it's
listen.
that type of.
let me break it down for y'all before y'all keep
My fault.
interrupting, man.
My fault.
Listen, if Trae Young has his usual 29 and 9 on better shooting splits than he did last year, so more close to what he did the season before, and the Hawks are a top 2 seed, a team that they didn't expect to be that high, the narratives will be pushed to put him in first and second
point.
team conversations.
I mean,
That's
yeah,
a,
that's a
that's
fair
a
point.
fair point. That's a fair argument, but I'm saying that's not in the realm of possibility. They're not
Yeah.
getting.
That's
Well, y'all
not-
just
that's
well, I wouldn't bet on it. I would never say I would bet on it, but if they do overperform and Trae Young's playing like what he did 2 years ago, I think he would get that. I think he would be first or second seed.
I mean, but isn't that the case with every bottom tier team?
That's why I say it's just out the possibility.
Nah,
You can
because
say that. You can
if
say
you-
that about Orlando. You can say that about Washington. You can say that about
If Paolo overexceeds
Brooklyn?
expectations and they
if
get
the
a playoff
Utah
spot,
if
he's
the
an
Utah
all-NBA.
Jazz are a top 2 seed, is Lauri Markkanen going to be a first team?
He would have to be
Yeah.
on all NBA.
First team in it.
Yeah.
He would have to be.
Yes.
He would have
They
to be,
may
exactly.
put him second team though, so it is. Yes, it could. That argument could work. For
So you
everybody,
can say
yes.
it for everybody.
Yeah, for sure. You could use it for damn near everybody, because that's why we say a lot of these awards is just based off of narratives, not really just like who's better.
That's fair.
So you have a great narrative
Fair
like
enough.
that, and you're performing well. I mean, they're gonna side with that. I promise you. It's all about whichever story you could create that's better.
But isn't the story created by how they're playing as a team and the
True.
individual?
Yes.
It
You
is-
cannot.
it is
You
a-
cannot
most
create.
of
You
the time.
can. You cannot create the story without performing.
I think most of the time, though, Dub, I think sometimes like a story can lead from one season to the next season. Like, for example, Ant, right?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are pushing the narrative that, including myself, that I think Ant is going to end up taking over by next season. So that's something that we saw from last season. The development that
Oh,
we saw,
narratives
and-
definitely travel.
You know?
Narratives definitely travel season by season.
That's-
Same. This how you get narratives of, oh, this guy's a loser or this guy's a winner or we expect to jump this year. It's how you get narratives of Luka being the MVP, next up MVP for the past 3 seasons. Like, it's just narratives.
That's how
No,
Embiid
that's
got
not
his
it.
MVP.
That's not a narrative. I'm still banking on that shit. It's
Oh
gonna
my
happen
God.
eventually.
You gotta give official.
All
I
he
honestly don't
needs,
see it next season.
bro.
They've
Dude,
I didn't like what I
projected him
saw.
to be
I don't like
MVP
what I
for
saw
the
in Abu
past 3
Dhabi.
years.
Dub.
but you know why?
I don't know
You
if
know
like what you saw in
why?
Abu Dhabi,
No,
but I
it's
like what I saw in Abu
annoying.
Dhabi.
It's annoying. You know why? It's all because the Dallas Mavericks are a top 2 seed. I promise you. Once he could do the same exact thing. Let me see what he did last year.
In the
Since
top
since
four?
the
Yeah,
narrative,
yeah,
haven't they've had
I
a
mean,
high
he was
seed
great
since
last
they
year.
had
His
those
defense
MVP
wasn't the
narratives.
best.
Luka could do the same exact thing he did last year. I mean, the same exact thing from a number. Well, because a lot of things can't change within the details of a game. But
Right.
if he's 32, 59, and 34 on 74% again, 8 and 8,
And they're top
and
four.
they're a 2
top four
seed, they're top 4, top
Four
2
is
seed.
easy. Top 4.
He's
I give him
winning-
top 4.
he's winning
I can get
MVP.
it, yeah.
He is
Weren't they
winning
a
an
4 seed when
MVP.
he was putting up those? No, or were they
Yes.
5?
They were like 4 or 5. The seeding was all over the place
And
because
he didn't
all
win.
they were all close to
No,
each
but you
other.
have to
He was
remember,
in MVP conversations
He was in the
1,000%.
conversation. Yes, he was.
Right, but he still got to contend with Jokic and Giannis for MVP too. So
Yeah, he still.
And that's why I
Is that-
said if he's a top 2 seed doing the same exact thing he did last year, 32, 8 and 8 on 49 and 34, he will win MVP.
So what would you say be the difference between him just being in the conversations when he actually did do it, and now to where if he does the same exact thing, he wins it? What would be the difference?
The winning.
The team was winning.
The winning.
Team was
The
winning.
winning makes all the difference.
Exactly.
Winning makes the complete difference in everything.
I guess because they are thirsty for that boy to win it at this point.
I'm telling you, bro.
He's
They
been
weren't-
picked for the last
Like
3
Marz
years.
said
Like
it.
you
Marz said it himself when he first came on the show. Like the only person to really like he didn't think Jokic deserved the MVP in 2021 because they were a 6 seed. Because outside of that,
22.
the only 22 outside of that, the only person that won it being under like a 4 seed was Kareem, and that was all the way back in the 70s.
Mm.
So it was like that. That's something.
Wasn't it Russ?
Kareem and Russ.
Oh, and Russ.
Yeah, it was like
Kareem, oh my bad, I forgot about Russ.
Kareem was with player voting.
Kareem was with player voting, and then you had Russ literally doing a historic season of dropping a triple-double the first time since Oscar Robertson. So everyone's like, you know what? That's fine.
I mean, even Jokic averaging a triple-double as a center without Jamal Murray and MPJ, that narrative and that historic setting, that pushed him to the MVP too.
He averaged a triple-double that year?
He only averaged 8.5 assists. No.
Yeah, he did average a triple-double that year.
Do you think the league wants Luka to win an MVP more than Jason Tatum?
Yes.
Luka for sure.
Those are the two.
I don't think so.
I do.
The reason I say
say
Jason
Luka.
Tatum because I think they're trying to push an American-born player.
We already
take
have an
over for
American-born
LeBron.
MVP. We have Embiid. What are you talking about?
They could have gave it to him last
Nah,
year.
he's an American MVP. He ain't American born though. But his son is American born, and that's why he wants to represent Team USA. WNBA, man.
Okay.
He's
They said
doing
we
it
gotta
for
get
his
back to
son.
our roots.
That's the only reason, man. He's doing it for his son.
That's so disgusting.
WNBA.
Is there
Y'all need
any-
to go, y'all need to go back. I mean, y'all need to go back and watch that Russ 2017 year, yo. That
he was
year
bugging.
was
Who?
He was
everybody. I find myself every now and then just going back and watching like highlights and going back and watching some games. I'm like, bro, Russ was really that was one of the best. That was up there with one of the best seasons I've ever seen from somebody. That was ridiculous what he was doing.
It's
Like, if you
honestly
could take
sad the
energy
amount of fans that
and
turned
put it into
on
one
after.
person. That was it for that year. It was just all energy, bro. Like I don't know if it was skills involved. I don't know. That was just all heart and all dog. Like that. Seriously, like
He was all right. He was decent. He wasn't terrible. He was
Decent is crazy. His 2K bill was like one of a kind. Like if you did play now and pick the Thunder, it literally said one of a kind. Like that was so crazy to me. For some reason.
Yes, that's right.
Who cares about 2K bills? They call Magic a two-way slashing playmaker. Who cares?
They do say two-way slashing playmaker.
Yeah, I remember when they gave Magic Johnson the defender badge. That
Yeah.
never made sense to me.
They be giving Giannis 90 perimeter defense. They're cooked.
Yeah.
Bro, there's no way Giannis should have any type of clamps, any type of ankle brace. That's dub. That's a
I
dub.
think Magic had clamps on like gold or something.
Giannis has a
man.
72 3-pointer on 2K.
Wow.
Unbelievable. But
I mean,
Just know.
Do y'all think anybody is gonna surprise us with an All NBA selection? This year?
Wembanyama.
I don't think it'd be a surprise.
And who breathing in their mic like that?
Only one would
breathing like that.
You breathing like that. Stop breathing, everyone. Everyone needs to stop
Yo,
breathing.
stop breathing, y'all. Stop breathing.
Hey, Marz.
No, someone doesn't follow instructions.
Wow,
Yes.
it's real talk. That's
Yeah, nigga, I'm not about to die. You saw men hitting step back threes, bro.
Hey man, the man Thompson moving me right now, man. I'm seeing the playmaking, man. It might be Magic Johnson with athleticism. I don't know. Hey, if you guys are seeing what he's doing, if you guys are seeing what a man Thompson is doing, try to tell me you don't see Magic Johnson with athleticism. Try to tell me you don't see Magic Johnson with athleticism. Just please. Because
Did you see that pass? That pass highlight, bro?
Oh, the one where he manipulated the low man, hit Cam Whitmore. Oh my!
Yeah, when he faked it to the corner, looked off, and then
Magic Johnson.
So he's beating the John Wall allegations.
Yeah, man. Hey, we about to have.
You think we got
I'm
Jalen
just
all the
saying,
from
man.
this year?
If you saw what he was doing, I'm just saying, it's there. You can see
the
it.
transformation of Marz is insane. Ever since we talked about Michael Beasley, this is a whole different Marz. Now I'm getting real Hooper back. Like, you feel me? Marz talk.
Nah, if you see what man Thompson doing, I'm just saying Fred VanVleet might want to count his days because he might not be around for very long. Starting,
Marz,
man.
I've been said, yo, Ahmed needs
He's on
to
that
start.
vet contract.
Even if
Thompson,
I'm
man.
starting him with Fred VanVleet, I have to start him. I got to. The kid is the kid already has the natural. He gets it. He understands pace. He understands speeds. It's literally going through the experience. But everything else, like in terms of like anticipation, like getting guys open, faking, or left-handed shots too. Oh, GG's. If he could hit a left-handed floater all the time, GG's for the rim. GG's, bro. GG. It's crazy. I like him and his brother, man. I'm very high on those guys.
Number 4 pick might be the best player in the draft.
So this is Marz. I'm actually curious about this, right? Because you guys have such a crazy collection of talent right now.
Yes, we do.
Who is the player that you think is going to separate himself from everybody else?
You know the answer, though.
You're really that high on Jalen Green?
Yes. Yes.
So who could be his co-star then?
Amen Thompson, Alperen Sengun.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
the
with
big
you.
three.
That's
the
the
big
backcourt right
three.
there.
Amen Thompson, Alperen Sengun, Jalen Green is going to be the big three. Then you got Tyrese in there. He's going to be the energy guy, crashing offensive rebounds, running out in transition.
You got your enforcer and Dylan Brooks.
Then you got Trevor Ariza just being a role player, playing defense, spotting up. Occasionally can create his own shot. Trevor Ariza, he's there. We like.
I was about to say one.
Then you got Cam Whitmore, who's going to be the long-term project. If we develop him,
calling
he can be an
Jabari
elite
Smith
scorer.
Trevor Ariza. That is disrespectful.
I thought you said you started to like Jabari.
What's it disrespectful to?
I'm not trying to disrespect Trevor Ariza. I'm saying Jabari Smith, like, he can be as good as Trevor Ariza.
Disrespectful to Jabari Smith. Marz.
Oh, so we're just trying to. Okay, we're just trying. Okay,
Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy.
And then Cam Whitmore's the long-term project that we're gonna try and develop. Because if he figures out how to see the floor and pass to people, that's another elite scorer on the team right there. He just needs to up his dish to open man tendency, because right now it's on
There
zero.
we go.
If he ups that to about 60, 65, he's going to be elite as well, because he's got the defensive tools, athletic, can get to the rim, needs to add the mid-range game as well. Hey, man, the pieces are there. That's all I know. The pieces are there. I'm packing up Kevin Porter Jr. Good times. Good times.
That's the key right there. Pack him up.
Yeah, man. The GM already said Kevin Porter Jr. will never play for Houston again, man. Good GM. I like that.
Let me ask you this then. Like, who do you think is going to have a faster turnaround then? Do you think the Spurs or Houston's going to have a faster turnaround?
Houston.
The Spurs are a long way away.
The Spurs have Victor Wembanyama. It's going to be the Spurs.
Oh my God.
I'm cooked.
You are.
It has to be the Spurs. What are we talking about?
I guarantee
7-5.
the first time Houston played the Spurs, we win by 20. Guarantee.
Wow.
We saw how Wemby reacted when he saw the Rockets got the 4th pick. We saw him celebrate.
I like this.
Fuck
I
you,
like
Wemby,
this. I like
bitch.
this. Dub.
Put
Put up bread. Put up bread, dog. Put up bread.
Man's out here celebrating that he's not going to Houston. Nah, we about Jalen Green's dropping 50. Trevor Ariza dropping
Green's
25.
taking that personally,
They're
man.
losing by 20. Guaranteed.
Still calling that man Trevor Ariza.
Bro, being happy that you're not going to Houston, but you're okay with San Antonio. I live in Houston, been to San Antonio plenty of times. Just take my word for it. Houston is a far better city. So I don't even know what that was about, really.
He's just a hater. He's just a hater. So we are going to.
He wants to be a
It was rigged. What are you talking about? The draft was rigged.
Wemby will have 6 points. He will do nothing. I guarantee it.
Oh, so y'all shutting that shit down.
7'4" bum. That's what he is.
Oh.
Damn, 7'4".
Out the league in 2 years.
That's how you
No
feel.
rookie of the year or anything?
He's a terrorist. He shouldn't even be in the NBA. If he was 6'2", he'd be working at McDonald's, but he's 7'4",
Nasty
so I
work.
guess we have to pray.
7-4 man. I feel it.
Wow.
This is true animosity right here.
Wow.
He's cooking.
Bum.
Yo, so Dub,
He in his
did you get to see that
Super
game
Troll bag
with the
today.
T-Wolves? Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
But if he went to Houston now, he'd be the greatest prospect of all time. But he didn't, so he's a bum.
7-4 KD.
How do you feel about the Mavericks starting the front court of Derek Lively and Grant Williams?
No comment.
Y'all cool with that?
No
You
comment.
said what?
I don't
I think
care.
they should make a
That
trade for a
team's
center.
cooked. That team's cooked. So
They're already starting the rookies. I'm surprised that Jason Kidd already went to starting the
yeah,
rookies.
that's just
Oh, you talking about
preseason.
Mavericks?
I
Yeah,
don't think they're
they're
gonna
cooked.
start Max Prosper. I think Josh Green is gonna
Okay,
start.
okay.
Derek
I
Lively,
don't-
however, I don't know because
I think
the
they
options
have
are
no
kinda
choice, right?
scarce.
I don't put too much
It
into
could be
preseason,
Dwight
but what I
Powell.
saw
It still
yesterday
could be
was
Dwight
terrible.
Powell.
I think Mavericks fans are going to go crazy if they start Dwight Powell again. I'm surprised they aren't going for a trade. Maybe like a
I don't get
Jakob Poeltl
everyone's
or
beef with Dwight
Thompson.
Powell. I don't.
Do
Like,
you
everyone
want
acts
him?
like Dwight Powell is the
Marz,
Killian
he is
Hayes of
not-
centers. I don't
He's
know.
a 4 playing the 5. It's really bad. Like,
No, I
would
agree.
just
He's not
like-
big,
I
and
would
I
just
don't
like
think
it
he's
to
very
be-
good. I just don't get everyone's beef with him. Like
You know, every team needs
he's not the
a
worst player in the
that's
league.
all. Really, that's what really Luka's missing. Is a really competent, just a competent big man, bro. So he could throw.
you know
some
every
alley-oops,
team needs
so-
a
Well,
scapegoat.
he had
Dwight Powell
Porzingis,
doesn't matter.
so I mean, I don't know what more you want.
but
Here we
you
are
know,
praising Boston
Porzingis-
for getting Porzingis, but when Luka has them, it doesn't work. Interesting. Jason
Mm.
Tatum over Luka confirmed.
Fact.
There it is, right there. There it is.
It is what it is.
What are your
I would
expectations
just
for
like
the
it to
Mavericks
be
this
on
season?
record that I am in fact the one that put the battery and KSB back. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I
appreciate it, real talk.
Mavs,
No problem,
the
man.
highest
That's
I
right.
think that they could go to is probably Western Conference Finals. That's if everything goes right. I think that's their potential. I don't think they can make it to the finals though. I think one of the team, other than Nuggets or the Lakers, might crack them out. But I
Who,
think
the
they have the
Mavs?
potential. Yeah, for the Mavs. I think the Mavs can make it to the Western Conference Finals.
I think they can make it to the finals, bro.
I think for them to make it to
What
the finals,
finals?
they need to trade for a center. I've
Like,
said
nah.
before,
They
Jakob
need a
Poeltl,
center
if they can get
bad.
Jakob Poeltl,
Let me
they
stop
can-
capping. Let me stop capping.
You talking about that mid-season tournament?
Playoff time though.
If this was last year,
mid-season turn
if
champion.
this was last year, I would probably think that they could make it to the finals. But since you have the Suns,
Yeah, the
bro,
mid-season
you got the
championship. Yeah,
Suns,
absolutely.
you got the Lakers, bro. I don't see them beating any of those teams, bro. I think those teams clearly leveled up on a level
The
that
first team you bring up is the Suns. Respect Denver.
Dallas would beat Denver in a 7-game series.
Stop.
What?
Stop.
Say
Doug.
what?
Stop.
What?
Dallas would beat Denver in a 7-game series.
Doug,
Explain.
Now,
stop.
Explain.
Trolling.
Explain.
That's the only. Yeah.
What are we
They
talking
could.
about?
Doug,
What are
you're
you talking
trolling.
about?
You're
Troll
trolling. You're
time.
trolling.
How?
How are we
That's
trolling?
not even
How?
a crazy
The
take.
one team that actually has elite guards, where that's something that Jokic and the Nuggets defense have historically struggled
Doug,
with. They're the
stop
one
this.
team that can sit here and take advantage of that.
They are not beating the nut. Who in the hell is guarding Nikola Jokic?
Jokic
That's
would
a
do
very
his
good question.
Jokic
Please
would
tell
do
me.
his thing, similar to Jokic doing his thing in a past other series. But now you have, but on top of that, you have two guys you have to worry about in Luka and Kyrie, who could bring Jokic out. They can control and dictate the pace because Luka does that a lot and slow the game down so they don't go on runs. I do think they'll sit here and they'll be able to beat the Nuggets for sure.
Who's
I don't
more
think-
efficient,
So
Doug?
is this just based off the fact that they
For
lost
sure?
Bruce Brown and Jeff Green in the
I don't-
offseason?
Because
That
Or is
ha-
it-
the
KSB,
Nuggets
that
are
has to be.
Well, they're like a
extremely
bench.
more efficient.
Make any sense?
Well, the lack of
My-
bench is definitely a big concern for the Nuggets. I'm gonna keep it a band with you. One bad injury to their starting lineup, and that could
Man,
derail
they ain't
the
use a
season.
bench
That's
last year
every
at
team,
all.
though.
Yeah, but no, don't say that. Don't say that.
Oh,
y'all.
if
Because
Luka
they were
was
using their
putting,
bench. They
if
were
Luka-
they cut it short, but
I
they
seen-
were using
I
their bench.
seen
The bench was
Luka-
already stored to
I
begin
seen
with.
Luka-
They only
I-
play like 8
The thing
Exactly.
is, I seen Luka and Jalen Brunson put this man Rudy Gobert on an island and was
In a blender.
religious, was just dogging him. What the hell do y'all think is gonna happen to Jokic? Please tell me if Rudy Gobert, they got him on if they were putting him on an island and just dogging him, what do you think is gonna happen to Jokic? He is going to.
Do you think Denver's just gonna let them isolate Jokic over and over again?
They have no
I think that's what
choice
he
but
thinks.
to switch.
You're
They
really
have
high.
because
if
they just do a hard hedge, Luka and Kyrie could eat that shit all day.
Oh, yeah, easy.
They
I feel like
could.
you're
Because
so.
who?
They
I feel like
could. I don't know.
Understand?
That ain't no
you're
guarantee.
You know that
you're
hard
so high
hedging is
on Dallas
effective,
because you're looking.
especially when you don't have a great rollman. So the rollman would have to play make after getting the pass off the hard hedge. So who's doing that? Dwight Powell?
You said what? You said what? Repeat what you said.
The rollman has to be able to play make when the big is hard hedging because that is the relief valve. That is the relief pass to the big man. That's hard hedging.
Real talk, that's only
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? They were doing it against.
It's not, bro. Hold on, wait. Let me explain this to Doug. I need to explain this to Doug because he asked me what am I talking about. So if you have a pick and roll situation, right? If the big man hard hedges, the relief valve is you're either about to do a slip pass to your big, or you're about to drag that big out. Either way, the release valve is the big man that's setting the pick.
Real talk, you're
right?
being nasty. That's bull.
No. Being nasty. What are you talking about? That's basketball.
No, but that's only if you don't have a guard that cannot manipulate. If you got guards like Luka and Kyrie, they can pull that hedge man. But they have a ball handle. They're not gonna pick up their dribble. I've seen Kyrie split when they hard hedge. I've seen Luka split when they hard hedge. I've seen Luka drag the screen and pull that big man even further out to the wing and then pull and call it on an ISO. So that's for guys that can't really do
They're
shit
not
when
going
they
to
get trapped.
context. They're not going to. Denver's not going to let Jokic be on an island with Kyrie and Luka
I was
over and
about to
over
say
and
Denver
over
would just
again.
deny
Not
that.
They're not going
repeatedly.
to allow that
They
to
would
happen.
just
I
they would
agree.
just stop that.
Yeah,
If you want to call it,
am I lagging? Am I lagging still? Am I lagging? Am I lagging still? Am I lagging still?
No, you're good.
No.
You're good.
Okay. Real talk. Oh my God, I need you. I really need you to understand something. When you have
Went straight back
Nah,
to
I think
legend.
it's
Kyrie Irving,
You're lagging. You're back.
you have
Immediately.
listen. They have no. It's the defense has no choice. If they're just hard hedging and that's it, the roll man can cut and they can find those windows, those tight windows when Jokic's slipping. They can even blow by Jokic and sit here and get to the rim because he's not that quick, right?
That's what I'm saying.
It's not about you don't think the defense is going to sit here and try to protect them? Yes, they are, but at the end of the day. They are so great offensively, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter how much they have to be like, nah, bro. They're killing us on this pick and roll action. Jokic, just get on the fucking switch.
So
It's not their
Dub, the adjustment.
Why can't they just pre-switch?
switch?
Yeah, why can't they just pre-switch?
He don't know.
What do you mean?
I have a question for you.
Let's say it's Luka, Kyrie, Josh Green, Grant Williams, Dwight Powell. Let's say that's the lineup. Jokic is guarding Dwight Powell.
Right.
Dwight Powell's going to try to set the screen so he can get the switch. Jokic just go, Aaron Gordon, switch with me. I'm a guard Grant Williams. Now you go up and play the pick and roll defense, and I'm just going to stay on Grant Williams in the corner. Then they're going to try to bring Grant Williams into the action. Hey, guess what? MPJ, go up, get away. I'm gonna now take Josh Green. Keep me away from the action. Why can't I just do that? That's what teams do all the time.
I think they'll be good. I think they'll be good enough to exploit that. I'm not even gonna lie.
Time out.
And they'll be good enough when Jokic is switching. When Jokic is switching, immediately cut back door, and then that's a wide open pass that they can hit right there.
How far do you have Dallas going this year? Because
Because
if you're saying to beat the
means
Nuggets,
just slide back and the other guy goes up.
Yeah, but if Jokic isn't alert at that point, and because there's a lot of communication that goes in, there's a lot of communication goes into pre-switching. So when one of them is sleeping and Grant Williams cuts back door, that's a window that they can hit.
Did you see any sleeping this previous playoffs
But
from Denver?
even if they manage
Did you see
to
any
bring
previous
Jokic up,
sleeping by the Denver defense this previous playoffs?
They never went up. They never went up. They never went up against the offense.
I'm not saying they did. I'm just saying, did you see them distracted? Did you see them not paying attention? Did you?
Definitely did.
MPJ, yeah, I did. MPJ.
Other than him, I ain't talking about
at times.
him.
Not really. Jokic is pretty aware for me.
And that's my point.
But he was aware because he wasn't going against offenses that can sit here and really keep him on his toes the way that Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving can. That's my point. So the harder degree of difficulty is going to cause
throwing
more
up sets on national YouTube.
the degree of difficulty. The higher degree of difficulty leaves room for more errors. That's just common sense. So they didn't go through an offense like Luka and Kyrie Irving in the postseason. So of course you haven't seen as much. You haven't seen as much miscommunications or some things like that.
You don't think the Suns? You don't think the Suns' offense was that good?
No, the Suns' offense wasn't good. That shit was trash. Like it was just Devin Booker making fucking prayers, and they were just literally sending 2 or 3 guys religiously just waiting for KD or Devin Booker to drive to send the help. That's all that they was doing. That offense was not great.
And spam high pick and roll with KD and Booker. That's all their offense was. No backdoors, no none of that.
And y'all acted like Devin Booker. Y'all acted like Devin Booker when oh my god, when they actually did the pick and roll with Devin Booker, he was cooking Jokic, and that was just with him. That was just with him and KD.
And they're not like moves on moves, guys. Like you're gonna get.
They didn't have spacing. They didn't have spacing. They didn't have spacing at all. It was just KD and Devin Booker. But even those guys was able to sit here and exploit that matchup a bit. So if you put in the Dallas Mavericks with Luka and Kyrie with better spacing, you don't think they're going to sit here and be able to take advantage of that?
I think they think you just put KCP on Kyrie and you put Aaron Gordon on Luka and y'all be all right. No, that's not the way.
That is still not enough to beat them, bro. Do you know how great Kyrie and Luka would have to shoot on pull-up jumpers? Okay, so
I trust them to make that.
There are so many ways. There are so many ways for them to avoid a switch. Jokic can be in hard hedge or just flat out double team to where they have to pass the ball. They can put Jokic in a drop and concede pull up jumpers. They can
which they both hit. That's both of their bread and butter.
That's their bread and butter.
Luka shooting mid range pull up jumpers since when?
Yes.
What?
Okay,
no, real talk your line. No.
Luka shoots off the dribble, pull up middies a lot.
No,
not a lot. He pulls that bitch up though. Kyrie does that shit.
Kyrie, yeah.
I think they're saying they're confident enough if Luka was given that.
And Luka does this. He gets in that pick and roll, and oh my god, he does this shit all the time. I love watching it. If they're hedging, He'll put his arm on the defender, literally put his arm on the defender and use his body and wait. Once Jokic drops, he'll do a floater or he'll pull up right there.
He'll do a floater. There we go.
Bro, like what do you like Jokic? You acting like Jokic, you act like Luka don't got counters to their fucking counters. Like what are we talking about?
Luka's lying, bro. He's lying to our faces, bro. He's lying to our faces.
What happened, Marz?
Let's say everything you said about Dallas exploiting Denver's defense is true. We all acknowledge Dallas won't be able to slow down Denver's offense as well, right?
It'll be a battle of offenses, for sure.
And we all acknowledge that Dallas's defense is much worse equipped to deal with Denver than the reverse, right?
Yes, I agree.
Unless you think Dallas are better equipped to deal with Denver, but then I need an explanation as to why you think that.
I would. It'll be a battle of offenses, and I'll bet on Dallas Mavericks offense than the Nuggets offense.
Okay.
I will bet on that.
This whole topic, I actually want to ask a question because I think
wow.
Yeah, sorry.
Especially with Luka's ability to slow down the pace of the game.
Yeah, I just actually had a question. So I think what this conversation actually brings up a good thing. What I've seen over this offseason is that even though the Nuggets just lost Bruce Brown and Jeff Green, and Phoenix and the Lakers
and Thomas
have made
Bryant. Karen.
And Thomas Bryant, yes.
And Thomas Bryant, yep. And Ish Smith, yep. But yeah, the other teams have made additions. Is that enough for the Nuggets to not be the number one team to get out the West?
No.
Yes.
Because I've seen a lot of people, they don't even consider the Nuggets. It's either the Suns or the Lakers. And a lot of people are putting even third or fourth team to get out the West.
Who?
When you're a team that only played 7 or 8 guys and you've lost 2 of your 7 or 8 guys.
Yeah, that's OD. I'm not gonna lie, that's crazy. Because who was it? It was Bruce Brown And then
Bruce Brown, Jeff Green, and Christian Brown. That was that.
They lost Christian Brown too. I didn't know that.
No, Christian Brown's on the team, but that was that bench. Those three guys were on that bench. They only have one.
It depends on.
I think it's Bruce Brown. I think they could find Jeff Green. He wasn't.
Yeah. Jeff Green. I mean,
Jeff Green. I'm good off Uncle Jeff. I'm good off Marz. I'm good off Jeff Green. What he was doing.
Houston legend right now.
He's a great player.
Good off that. I think more impactful. Bruce Brown, I think he was probably the best like impactful player off the bench for them. If they still had Braun, it's not like I still don't like the bench at all. Braun's a fake defender too. We just got to be honest with that.
What?
Fake defender.
Fake defender? It's correct.
It is gonna be like that
He was clipping your favorite player, Doug.
No, he wasn't. He was getting cooked. Literally, when KD would beat him off the move, it was either I get to the lane or I have to take up this pull-up jump shot. But when I get to the lane, I have 2 to 3 bodies ready to meet me at the lane. Fuck out of here, bro. There was like 2 or 3 plays where I say he did a good job. Outside of that, the defense was helping him tremendously.
Okay, how about his 7-foot ass shoot over Christian Brown and make it? How about
To that I agree, but
watch this.
deny what Dove said.
He was missing his layups.
Ew.
Okay.
He was missing his layups. Real talk. Simple.
That day he wasn't good. Real talk. It's either you good or you not.
No.
I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer of guys miss the shots that I'm a firm believer that guys do be missing shit that like it's not really good defense.
Y'all got saved, bro. Y'all really got saved because in that first series, on God, that PG and Kawhi was gonna do what Boston did to your boy in 2021.
He didn't get saved. No, because this is annoying. No, bring me. Oh my God, bring me an example of a guy only playing 8 games with a crew and still having a great postseason run. I need an example.
Is it that he only played 8 games?
No, because y'all forget how basketball works, and it's annoying. You say he got saved. Why are we crucifying a guy for not doing something that nobody in NBA history has done? That doesn't make sense.
So why did you pick Phoenix to beat Denver?
Because I thought the talent was that good. And honestly,
so you were in a win-win situation. They win, you're like, oh my God, KD's this good. They lose. Oh, but they didn't have continuity. So I mean, I don't know.
Yes, I'm in a win-win scenario. Yes, Marz.
I do the same thing.
Okay, there we go. I'll admit to it, but I'll admit to it though.
So do I.
Yes. Okay,
I did the same thing.
We're here.
We're catch you, Marz. We gotta catch you first. And he's like, all right.
I admit, I did that for Philly last year. We did the same thing. It's cool.
I wasn't talking about them winning the series though. I just said that PG and Kawhi defensively would have had your boy strapped up, bro.
But real talk, for example, in 2017 when the Eagles lost Carson Wentz, I was saying we was win. But guess what? If we would have lost, what was the first thing I was going to say? We lost our fucking quarterback. That was the first thing. I still picked us to win every single time, but as soon as we lost, I was hitting that quarterback button every single time. Every single time. Like, y'all acting like that shit don't happen. Every fucking time. Like, what are we talking about?
J-Rob does it too. He does it with Wilson. He does it with Zach Wilson.
It's fine. Let it rock. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. You just think, and if you're wrong, and if you're wrong, you're wrong. You don't have to. And Lowe does this a lot. You don't have to crucify the player for other people just being wrong. What are we doing? That doesn't make sense. You still picked them though, so you believed in them. Bitch, who cares? That's still not how basketball works. Supposed to be a basketball savant and an elevated mind, but you sit here mad that other people just picking a player. But you're crucifying the player for other people picking that player. Make that make sense. That doesn't make sense.
We're crucifying the reasoning on why you said they didn't win when that reasoning was there before you picked them in the first
because place. I thought they was that good. But guess what, real talk? I was wrong. And guess what? Well, guess what? They got hurt. Because as soon as Chris Paul, because as soon as Chris Paul went down, Marz, what did I say? Marz, what did I say as soon as Chris Paul went down?
It's cooked.
Yeah, you said it was over.
You said it was over. So what are we doing?
I ain't gonna lie, Dub. You can't act like they weren't better without Chris Paul, though.
I think they were better. They would have been better with Chris Paul. I just think Devin Booker just went on. I just think Devin Booker just went on a crazy ass run. Like he just went on a crazy shooting spree. Watching the shots he was making was.
Oh, they were
insane.
They were ridiculous, but
that offense was shit. That offense was not ran. That offense was not ran properly at all. That offense was terrible.
So you blame Monty Williams for that?
Not really. I didn't blame the coach. I didn't like the firing. I thought the dude, like, what the fuck is he supposed to do? Everybody's getting hurt, and they have no continuity. So I didn't like how they fired him. I thought he got.
You got Cameron Payne as my backup point guard. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, like what is he supposed to? That's so weird that they fired him. I did not
respect Cameron Payne.
Cameron Payne had 30.
Cameron Payne had 30 in that closeout game. Don't disrespect.
They were down 20 the whole game, but
it was Kevin DeFraud that went out there and choked it up.
Kevin Durant, that's his name. Kevin Durant.
Damn, what hate today I see.
Wow. Yo,
yeah, but how do you let the Phoenix Suns this year?
I don't want to hear none of this no more, bro. Y'all be wilding on.
Now the Suns. So now let's talk about the Suns. Now that the Suns actually have pieces that can be respected. Now that he has Beal, Grayson Allen, you have Marcus, not too bad. I like that.
Eric Gordon's on the team.
They got KD, Devin, and who'd you just say, Marz?
Eric Gordon's on the team.
Not bad.
Gordon.
They got some depth. They got some depth. You got a Kogi.
Watanabe.
You got okay, Watanabe. You got a Kogi who can sit here. You got a Kogi that can sit here and be a POA. Listen, Suns all the way, baby. Simple.
So KD has
no excuse. Say that your pick to get out the West is the Phoenix Suns.
Yes.
He has no excuse but to win the
when the team gets injured, he has an excuse.
Injuries.
If the team gets injured, then I will.
Okay, outside of excuse, outside of injury, Dub, KD has no reason to not win a ring, right?
If his teammates play like terrorists, what's that
exactly? Best believe I'm a finding.
Marz, stop copping. You copping more, please.
I'll give you this, real talk. I'll give you this. There's no excuse. There is no excuse for KD to play bad. There's no excuse that I should see what I seen against Boston, what I seen against the Nuggets.
Okay, I didn't even think if you see it, are you then ready to get him out of your top five?
1,000%. 1,000%. That's fine.
I'm giving a lot of credit to Frank Vogel.
Yeah, aren't you worried about their defense, especially with Yusuf Nurkic at center?
KD's an elite roamer.
Wow.
He's trolling today, y'all. He's trolling today.
I couldn't say that with a straight face. KD's a good. I think KD's a good enough roamer to make that defense and Nurkic being there. They could be like top 10 to like top 15. I think they could. Like top 10 to top 15, that's like their little range right there. I think they're
defense?
Yeah, y'all forget.
He's a good defensive coach.
Yeah, he's a good defensive coach, but
he need defensive players.
Devin Booker plays defense. KD plays defense. Bradley Beal plays defense. That's three defenders right there.
Yeah, I play defense as well, but you don't put me on the team.
Y'all be this. Another thing, y'all disrespect. Y'all disrespect KD's.
Yeah, they sure do.
Y'all disrespect KD's defense a lot. Y'all acting like on that. Y'all acting like in 2022 when it was just him and pieces. He wasn't sitting here. I think that defense was top 10 when KD was playing.
Nic Claxton's defense,
no, Nic Claxton was getting her out the lineup, and they were still performing at the same level.
21 or 22.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's because they got lucky. But I've already
shut up.
Yeah, I always said that KD got better. I always said that KD got better on defense for sure, compared to like his like OKC days, and even in Golden State. Like Golden State, I felt like it was like it was cool. But like his first couple of years in Brooklyn, I would definitely say like he's definitely improved as a defender, especially on the weak side.
Better than Golden State, KD?
Golden State KD's defense.
You guys must not have seen the clip of OKC KD's blocking Kobe. But I guess you guys don't see that.
It's I feel like there was flashes in OKC and in Golden State. I feel like his last year in Golden State was definitely way more complete, and that's where we saw like the full roundedness of his defense. But like his first year there, I think it was like the flashes. Like we saw a lot more weak side. I thought his rebounding was definitely like a great thing, but it wasn't like this upper tier like roaming that I thought. I think the last year of Golden State and probably like his first year in Brooklyn, that's when I saw the best version defensively of KD, in my opinion. I feel like OKC was just mad flashes.
I don't think that's
KD's never been a
ridiculous.
good defender.
I don't think that's Mars is lying. He's just chatting.
How many defensive teams, Doug?
Shut up. He's just now he's on the face.
So you can say elite rumor, but I can't say someone with no defensive teams.
I laughed immediately, Mars. Come
Oh. What's it doing?
Nah, son. Yo, dog, your man is wilding. Your man Marz is on.
Damn.
Nah, son.
that was the first time
Marz
made me
like this.
I just don't get what you want, man.
That's just the normal British laugh.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That was so much.
For your finals, you got Phoenix and coming out the East Boston, I'm assuming?
You said what? What happened?
You got Phoenix and Boston make it in the finals, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good series, man. I don't know.
thought you got
Does
the Mavs.
Does KD get locked up by Boston again?
I don't know. That's a good defense, bro. That scares me.
I'm going to keep it a band with you, though. I don't know if Boston's going to beat Milwaukee. Not this first year. I think Milwaukee.
They're beating them. They're beating them.
I think it's really dependent on
Giannis and Dame are
Adrian
combining
Griffin
for
turns out as a
80 a
coach.
game against Boston.
Jason Tatum will once again beat Giannis in a 7-game series and not get credit for it. So, you know.
I don't know, real talk.
Wait, why should he's faced him 3 times. He beat him in his rookie year. He beat him in 2019 and 22.
I'm not too high on that backline defense if you're going to rely on KP, who's always injury prone, and old man River Horford. I know he's the Dominican Batman, but at one point, I think his powers is going to go away, bro. Like, he's not going to be able – and then he's going to turn into like P.J. Tucker, where just sit him in the corner, he don't do nothing. Like, you know what I mean? And we don't want that. So, I don't know. I think Milwaukee is going to give Boston too much problem on the rebounding side, and I feel like they're too big for them. It might be too big for them. Just what Giannis said.
Yeah, they lost all their big guys, man. They lost Grant. They lost
Respect Williams.
Yeah, man. They lost their big.
They just brought
They lost five down below. That's be a problem for them.
They just got
They lost some depth too, though. Too.
What are we talking about?
Who on Milwaukee? Bro, Milwaukee has. They don't have POAs no more, bro.
And you guys must not know that Wenyan Gabriel's nickname is the Giannis stuff.
They were hoping Porzingis doesn't get hurt, though. They get hurt, they're going to be in severe trouble.
Yo.
Whoever came from Milwaukee, that's not
his nickname is the Giannis stopper. That's his nickname.
No, it's not. I just
look it
up. It's not.
No, I'm looking this up.
It's not.
Look it up. It's right there. The Giannis stopper.
That's
I'm not letting you
nuts.
gaslight me, Marz. I'm not letting you do it. But I mean, the thing about it is with Boston, like I feel like the injury bug might bite them, and that's what I'm kind of a little bit interested because I feel like they're gonna try to integrate KP a little too much, and I don't know how his body's gonna hold up. You know what I mean?
Hey, Marz, how many games has Dame played in the last 2 years?
Oh, that's dirty.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's nasty. That's nasty.
That is nasty work.
Marz, you're on mute.
Yeah, bro. Like, come on. You know,
Marz know he was on mute.
Dame in the last 2 years has played 87 games.
Oh, okay. But you worry about the injuries for Boston. I got you.
Well, KP has a way bigger. He has a way.
KP played more games than Giannis did last year.
How old is Dame now, though? How old is Dame?
33.
33.
Oh, okay.
KP played more games than Giannis did last year. Just do with that information what you will. Just do with that information what you will.
Marz, that was 1 year. It's an outlier. You got to show him improve.
It's the most recent year.
I need more of a sample size. You telling me 1 year, and so from now moving forward, are you guys confident that KP's not going to be injury prone no more?
No, I'm saying the most recent year determines. Like, let's just look at it with common sense. The most recent year and the first year, nothing in between matters. His first year he played 72. Last year he played 65. That means he's available.
No, Marz. Marz. If somebody puts a 6, let's say all they average on 2K is 5 point, then they put up a 30 ball. Now you think they nice?
They're a 30-point scorer.
Check the averages, man.
You're capping, bro. You're capping.
No, let's say they score 5, 5, 5, and then 30, right? That's
Right.
45 points in 4 games. That means you're like really a 12-point per game scorer.
I'm not taking about the 12-point scorer. No.
That's what you want. 12-point per game scorer.
Go sit in the corner, buddy. You're a corner
Nah,
sitter.
that's 12 points right there. That's 12 points. That's decent role playing numbers.
Listen, give me 1 3, and 1 free throw. That's all you get, bro. You are not good.
You better
All I'm
respect the
saying
12-point per
KP
game
just
scorer.
gotta
That's
show
what I'm
us.
saying.
And if they want to
These
do
are
this equal opportunity offense, KP's gonna be. They said that they're gonna move KP around. He's not gonna be just catching and shooting. He's gonna be on the block. He's gonna be diving to the rim. They're gonna have all these actions for him, and that means you just putting him in the line of fire of getting, somebody running into his knees, things of that nature. I'm just saying, I just gotta see. I'm not doubting it. I'm just saying I gotta see. I just think
all I know is context is that Drew and Derek White gonna have Dame on Guantanamo Bay.
Boy,
that's what I do know.
Yeah, just go lock himself up.
And the Giannis stopper will be there to slow down Giannis.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
And it wouldn't be the first time Drew done that to Dame.
Yeah, but
and it won't be the first time.
It'll
be interesting
for sure. That's a damn sure. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I'll be waiting for when Drew locks himself up and he goes 4 for 20 in the playoffs as well.
Yeah, Drew's gonna just lock himself. He gonna miss everything.
That's a real tough record right there.
He's holding Dame to 6 for 25. I think they're cool.
Dame won't go 6 for 25. I don't think he's gonna go.
If the series isn't in the first round,
If you let him,
be so sure. The moment that series is past the first round, I wouldn't be so surprised if Dame 6 for 25.
If you let him, he will.
So, all right, let me ask you a question. Y'all think that Dame is not taking tougher shots in the playoffs, knowing that he's their primary option? They're always game planning for him. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody cares about CJ McCollum gets a 40 ball. Nobody cares. They are hyper focused in the playoffs for Damian Lillard. So, don't you think playing on this team now, they're going to focus more on Giannis and Dame is going to get easier shots, thus giving him a better chance to have a better shooting percentage?
Okay,
I think it's because he takes a lot of moving shots.
6 for 25 is 6 for 25.
Yeah,
bro.
more 3 more.
Yeah, he might shoot 9 or 25 instead. Nice, he makes 3 more.
Exactly.
Because if they try to what if context they put a bigger body on Dame, right? And then let's say they have a JT or Al, on Giannis, and if they run pick and roll, I think Boston's going to be comfortable switching
that all the way.
Yeah.
Full switches.
I've seen Jaylen Brown able to hold his own against Giannis.
So let me ask you a question. Like, and let's say for example, let's say it's Jaylen Brown and Al Horford, and they switch. Y'all comfortable with Al Horford on Dame after what Trey Young did?
Are we playing in the first round or after the first round?
First round.
It would have to be after the
first
first
round.
round.
I'm not comfortable.
The first round.
James
There's no other two teams playing the first round.
Yeah, Dame is dropping 40 on Al Horford in that first round.
Okay. But then second round. So y'all don't even.
Oh,
care
second
about
round.
the
Al Horford's looking him up.
Wow.
20%.
I mean,
Okay, y'all trolling.
that is the Dame track record.
Yeah, I'm just going with what history tells us, and I'm not hearing that he didn't have help excuse. A superstar getting
James never played with like Giannis before either, though.
A
That can make a big
superstar being
difference.
defended like a superstar isn't an excuse to be playing like a terrorist. I'm sorry.
Well, there's a 0
That's
chance
the fact.
they're gonna meet in the first round.
It's not. It's just that I'm never gonna buy into that. I'm not saying he needed to win those series, but at least don't play like a terrorist. Like, I'm not asking for much.
Yeah, but if it's 5 versus 1, what is he supposed to do?
But it wasn't 5 versus 1.
Schematically, you don't think that it's 5 versus 1?
No.
Schematically,
I think he gets defended like a superstar gets defended. He gets most of the attention and he struggles.
Right. Yeah, but
I think every single superstar has gone through that, and none of them struggle.
I agree with you. I agree with that. But don't you think that depending on your team, your personnel, how it works, how your team is ran, schematic, how you guys primarily get your offense, don't you that then affects how you evaluate someone playing under the superstar call? Like, for example, Jimmy Butler gets the superstar treatment defensively, but he does not play, and the team does not play for him to put up all these high attempts, so that way we can see, because if he puts up high attempts, he will be in the same ballpark. You dig what I'm saying? Because he doesn't have that much help, somebody to alleviate the pressure off of him. But the fact that Dame doesn't have other people, I mean, he has CJ McCollum, cool, but he doesn't have a multitude of players, and the way that they scheme
on him defensively is to stop him because he is the primary scorer and the primary playmaker for the team. A lot of guys, they don't have the same roles that Dame has compared to the other superstars. Like Cat has a different role, Ant has a different role, Embiid has a different role. Like Embiid doesn't have to play make compared to so when he gets his doubles and he shoots atrociously, we look at it a little bit different because like, yo, your main job is to mainly score, while Dame has to also run the offense as well. So don't you think that plays a part into that too, like the responsibility part? I think Dame's responsibility compared to other superstars is different.
It might, but I've seen Trae Young play better than Dame outside the first round. And Trae Young has the same responsibilities, and he does better, and he's smaller, and he's meant to be a worse player, and he's getting all this defensive attention, and his supporting cast has been worse. So Dame, I'm not gonna lie to you, buddy. Just play better, please.
But he had a better defense. Though. Like you don't adjust for a thing called like momentum shifts, and the other team keeps gaining momentum. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. It's very much difficult to try to stop teams when they're on momentums, especially if you.
So I just want to understand. So you're saying Portland's defense was so bad it made their offense worse because they couldn't stop anyone?
No, that actually does happen, Marz. Yes.
Yes, that's what I wanted to make sure I was not misquoting what you said. That's what you were saying.
Yeah, that happens.
Okay. Cool. If that's your belief, that's why it's struggling as much as he did because their defense couldn't stop anyone.
No, it's not just that. It's a lot of things, and what context was talking.
No, I'm saying
about,
if that's a contributing factor to you.
Oh yeah, it should be.
I'm not arguing against it. Cool.
For sure should be.
Randy Gregory just got traded to the 49ers.
Really?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
Marz is a loss.
It's Denver's sending Randy Gregory and a 2024 7th round pick to San Francisco for a 2024 6th round pick.
God,
but they trying to Cowboys this weekend.
Oh, isn't that
Eagles still winning NFC. I don't care.
I'm not gonna lie, 49ers are making moves right now. That's dangerous.
There's no
That's dangerous.
Eagles still winning NFC.
17 minutes ago.
They trying to beat the Cowboys, man. I see what it is.
Wow.
But that's fine. You know, they had
about to get a 49ers jersey. I see.
But they had elite D line anyway. So in my head, I'm saying
it might be over for the rest of the division.
Hey, now they ain't scared no damn Cowgirls. Stop that.
This is not fair.
Trade for second place right there.
They really
have to cover the playoffs back to back
Marz is spitting right now. I see you.
It might be over for the rest of the division. I'm not gonna lie. That's a big move. That's a very big move.
I agree with
Man, it's talking facts.
Bro, you got Randy Gregory. And,
maybe two different quarterbacks too. That's what's even more embarrassing.
Bro, you got
Eagles though. You're not better than the Eagles. I'm gonna say that.
You got Randy Gregory. Gregory and Nick Bosa charging at you. Like, what are you doing?
Yo, I'm not gonna hold you down. I'm gonna panic. If I'm a quarterback, I'm panicking, boy. I'm panicking, son.
Make sure you take care of your O-line the game before.
Right. Yo.
How about it?
Rollies for everybody.
Hey man, listen.
Rollies,
I don't
TVs.
I don't be wishing for people to get hurt, but Randy Gregory, have another repeat of the last season. Get her, bro. Get her, bro. I'm nah, bro. You gotta go.
Hey, Doug, we ain't worried about him with this offensive line though.
You gotta go. That offensive line elite, bro. But that's crazy.
We need that ring, Dub. I'm with you.
Get him.
The Eagles need that ring. We need.
Lord, pack him up. Pack him up. Pack him up.
Do what you gotta do, Lord. Do what you gotta do.
Oh my God, that's crazy, bro.
Nah, it's insane.
The crazy thing
is, get up out of here. Yo, Dub, fellas, always a pleasure. Marz, you already know.
We're ending the show. We're ending the show. So salute to everybody. Like the video, subscribe, man. We'll see y'all on another episode.
Shout out to the 49ers, man, making winning moves. Shout